Hello, I just wanted to show a feeler out here to see if anyone would know the issue. Of course, I'm going to call. It happens to be on Sunday. Yesterday it started when I made an appointment for an alignment. And like a lot of you tuners out there, maybe you want to tune it back to stock, and that's what I do all the time actually. I have the Renntech HHT tuner, and it's a simple toggle of stock or modified, and that's all you need to do, and it tunes to stage 1 to stock. So I went to do that. I put my battery tender, which I have set up over there, on the car, and then I go ahead and do the procedure. You do the 2 ons for the car, it'll turn on, and then it goes through its little settings and everything like that. And then you put the the HHT tuner underneath in the OBD2 port. It usually turns red for tuning, and then it takes a minute or so to tune it back to stock, and then it turns green as in done. And then you would just simply hit the button once and it would turn off, and then it says, but see right now, when I did it, I'll just let you guys know, I had it in there and it turned green to red, and then it stayed for a little while, and then there was a series of blinks, and I don't remember or recall if it was 2 or 3 blinks, and then it turns off. And then you read the Renntech's instructions for troubleshooting, and you go, okay, then you just turn off the car again, and power cycle it again. You unplug the unit. After you turn off the car, you unplug the unit, then do the again 1 2 without hitting the brakes so you don't start the car. Then you plug the unit in. Then the second time it followed, it turned red for a second, and then it turned black. No LED light after that. The first time around it was green. It was green and split second to red, and then it stayed like that for a couple of minutes, and then it had a couple of series of blinks, whether it's 2 or 3, and then turned off. And then at that point I was like, okay. Then you just read the instructions from Renntech, and they say, hey, you lost communication with the computer. Please try again. Make sure the battery's charged. Of course, I have the battery tender on there by the company battery tender, and it was red to green. It was fully charged. So that shouldn't have been the issue right there. Anyways, right now I cannot start the car. It's inoperable. I hold the brake and it will not start. If I hold the brake right now, I hold the brake, and then you just, click the button, click the start button here. And then what will it tell you? It'll just go like this, inoperable. You go through the owner's manual and there's no information. You scan all over there. That one's a traction control issue. All that stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can even go like this, boot up this screen over here. So, yeah, it says, no brief description available for the message. Thanks. And so that's that. The car won't start. Yep. I if you follow my channel before, you've seen I've tuned. I had a couple of Subarus. I've tuned with a piggyback ECU. I flash tuned with a cob access port. That was very easy to do as well. Integrated engineering was fantastic with both the Golf R and the Audi RS3. Yeah, all of it is straightforward, and I always tune it back to stock or detune it. This thing cannot be measured. Yeah, this thing pops up too. Go to more information. Go right here. There's no description. Again, when you look into your owner's manual, in a nutshell, you're searching everywhere, it's telling you how to use all the features, how to read your oil, how to, control your ESP controller, your traction controls right here, what the functions are, to undo it, or, to enable it, or half mode, or hold it down, for all those kind of features, right now. And I also used my Innova OBD2 scan tool. I plugged it in, and it's the first time I've seen it. First time I've seen this on the screen of it. It says error 1. I looked that up, and it turns out it means it can't communicate to the computer. So I don't know if the computer is fried or needed a reboot. And now I've also tried this as well. I've unplugged the battery of the car for like a whole day. So for many hours. I figure and I read on some forums that they said 15 to an hour should be more than enough to reset the computer, right? You think it would really reset it, even though a power cycle on and off, in theory, this should pretty much turn off the car and reset, the computer, reboot it. But I just want to disconnect the battery and do the old-fashioned way. And then when I plugged it back in, it took a second to come back to life. And it took a minute, and then you heard things come on, the air suspension pumping and all that stuff. And then I came in here and just went ahead and tried to do the old brake and then start, and you got the series of lights and inoperable. You can see that stuff again, and it's just you just don't have any information regarding what the issue is. So yep, and that's that right now. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm also reaching out to Renntech. Of course, it's just timing. Rent is during the holiday. Renntech's closed. I don't want to deal with the dealership just yet, but I'll probably keep things posted in the description. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the description below and just give a status update of what's going on with this vehicle, and see what Renntech has to say about what's going on, because it's their tuning thing is very simple and very easy to deal with. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, especially if you've been doing those flash tunes for as long as I have been doing. It's like, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's not like my first rodeo doing this stuff. So yeah, this is the battery tender I use. So when it is need a little charging, all cars need a little charging. Like when I tried to power cycle and try to start the car, it's going to use a little bit. So obviously I can just charge it again. And what happens is, over a few hours or so, or an hour, because it is a tender, this red will be on, and then eventually it'll turn green, which is full health. Just, storage, maintenance, charging car, very basic. So this is it. This is all you do. Just pretty much, put the charging cable on here, and then you put the charger cable, wherever you feel like you can grip it. Put it like this, put it like that, move this on the side, and I have a plug over here off to the side here. I have a plug here, and I just plug it in right here. Yep. And that's that. So we just plug that in, make sure that's nice and tight, one-handed magic. And see, now the light's on for charging again. Now keep in mind, that's me trying to power cycle and play around with the car right now. So of course it's not going to be fully charged again, but this will, take a few minutes to an hour or so, because remember, this isn't a charger, this is a battery tender. It does charge very slowly. As it says, it is charging. But this will eventually turn green. It was fully green when I plugged this up in together. So this is what I usually do before I do the tune. I have this for, when I did it with the Golf WRX. If they recommend you plug in a charger to it, I went ahead and did that just in case. So that's that. This is if you follow my channel, this is a 2021 GLC 63 SUV. And I hope I didn't fry the CPU, or not me per se. Did the HHT tuner do it? And I've done this before, many times before too. That's the irony of this. When I go to get alignment, or I change the oil on the car, but I can't do alignments or tire of course I could do a tire rotation, but not tire balance. I take it to the tire shop. But when you do an alignment, they have to test drive it after you do it. So That's probably, every time I do that, it's maybe once or twice a year, and this is 2021, it's 2024, so I do this quite a few times a year. Especially if I hit a big pothole, then I go ahead and just do it again. And I just do the usual. I flip it to stock and I follow the procedure. I flip the HHT to stock, try to, do the process. It does take its like couple of minutes to do, and then it turns from down below there, the OBD2 port, it turns from red to green when it's finished. It's very straightforward. I loved it until it did this today. And yes, this is only miles I have on the car right now. Right there. So, anyways, thanks for watching and your opinions.